Hello and welcome everyone to my YouTube channel Code with Ease. Today we are going to discuss about the lead code problem, how to convert Roman numerals to its integer equivalent. So as we know, Roman numerals are represented by 7 different symbols, which we have it here, and we have the corresponding values. The M is the largest one, which is denoted by 1000, and then followed by D is 500, C is 100, L is 50, X is 10, V is 5, and I will be 1. So these are the symbols, and then there are a few caveats if we have to denote a number, let's say 4, we are not going to write I 4 times. In that we have to use the symbol V, and then we have to subtract I from it. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So the idea is whenever we write any Roman numeral, we take the nearest Roman numeral, and then we do the necessary addition and subtraction to make it to the integer equivalent. So like I said 4, so similarly if you have to write 6, we'll take 5 and then we'll add I next to it, so vi will become 6. So that's just like basic mathematics that we all have studied in the school. And then like the notation is, Roman numerals are usually written largest to smallest from left to right. So that's the way of writing this. And yeah, they're having some examples like how is the same principle being applied to different numbers like 9, 4 and 9, then 40 and 90. So 40 and 90, it's like if L is 50 and you have to make it 40, so we'll subtract 10, that is X, from it. Instead of writing X 4 times, we'll just subtract it from L. And similarly for little bigger numbers, 400, 900, we are going to take the nearest Roman numeral and make the necessary subtraction or addition, whatever is necessary to make it to the integer equivalent. Here we have a couple of examples. Let's take a look at the second one. So we have L, V and 3 i's. So L is 50, V is 5, and we have 3 i's denoting 3. So 55 plus 3 is 58. This example, however, is having a bit longer list of Roman numerals. Here we have to understand few things, like M is 1000, but then we have a Roman numeral C. C we know is equal to 100. So this is not like 1000 plus 100 plus again M is 1000. It is not going to work like that. Okay, so we are going to see that in the dry run how the approach should ideally be for this. So yeah, with this, let's get started. Okay, so into the whiteboard, let's try to understand the approach of solving this question. So I've written this Roman numeral here. Okay, so as we know that like M is denoting 1000, and like I was saying that if this is denoting 1000 and this is 100 and then again this is 1000, what happens is we are not going to keep on adding this like this, that 1000 plus 100 plus 1000. We are not going to do this. Okay, what we have to understand is two things. One, like we said, Roman numerals are written from largest to smallest, and then they're written from left to right. Okay, so like I was saying that if you have to write 4, we are going to write like this. If you have to write 6, we are going to write like this. Here 4 we are not going to denote by this, or neither we are going to denote 6 by this. Okay, now if you look at these two numerals, what do we understand? Here V, that is, which is of value 5, here V plays the pivotal role. If V is the numeral, and if anything smaller than V is written before that, smaller than V is, there is only one numeral, that is I. So if anything smaller than V is written, the value becomes 5 minus 1, that is 4. And then if again V is here 5, and if any value, even though it is smaller than V, if that is written after V, then it becomes plus 1, that is 6. Okay, so this is going to be the baseline for us. Once we understand this, then we can figure out what should be the approach. So anything smaller than the numeral that is written before, if it is before, then we of course have to subtract. But if this current numeral is greater than the next one, like I is 1, B is 5. So if this current is greater than the next one, we are going to add. If the current is smaller than the next one, we have to subtract. So that is the baseline. Okay. Then let's try to understand now what should be the approach for this. So write the approach. Now that we know that we have to deal with the we have to convert this to an integer. So somewhere we need to store the numerals and its equivalent, the integer equivalent, like m is denoting 1000 and all that. So for that we have to use maps, hash map, because it stores key and value. So we'll use a hash map to store the Roman numeral, that's going to be the key, and the value will be its integer value. Okay, so that is step number 1. Second thing is we will go like this from left to right. So we'll use for loop to traverse through the string. So now into the for loop, what should be the logic for us? So as I was saying, we are going to deal with current character and the next one. Okay. So what we have to do, if current character is denoted by I, like let's say we are starting the loop from here. If current character is denoted by I, next will be I plus 1. So I is going to be our current character. So what check we have to do? If the current character of the string that we are traversing, not okay, current character and then current character's value. So I'll just rephrase this by how do we have to do this? We have to take the integer value of current character. Where do we get the integer value? Map is already there. If we do a get on the key will be the current character, and int value is going to be the corresponding value. So that value of the current character, if that is greater than equal to the int value of I plus 1 character, then we'll take one result variable to store the integer value of that. Say result equal to 0. So if this condition is satisfying, then what we'll do is we'll do result equals to result plus the value of that current character. So as we have seen in the example above, current character was V, that is 5. Okay, and the next character, that is I plus 1, it was greater than that. So V was greater than that. So if it is greater than equal to, we are just going to append that. So whatever the value of V is, that is 5, we are going to add that to our result variable. This is condition, the first condition. Okay, the other one will be the else part. If it is not means that if it is lesser than that, which is this condition where I is lesser than V. So I is lesser than I plus 1. So we have to subtract it. Okay. So in that case, this I is okay. So we can just write this like result. Whatever the result will be so far, we are going to just subtract that. So result minus that value of current character. Why we are doing a minus here? Because if what happens is here minus, if you do a minus here, minus 1, and then later on we'll anyway add 5. So minus 1 plus 5 is equal to 4. That is why we are doing a subtraction over here. So whenever the current character is going to be smaller than the next one, we'll straight away do a minus over here. So that next time when the bigger character's value comes in or when it gets added, then it will do a plus minus and it will compensate for the resultant integer value. So with this, let's try to do a dry run. Okay. So like this is I, and we have I plus 1, and we are going to start from the first character itself. But we have to go in till the second last character. because if we go till here, I plus 1 will again lead to an exception out of bounds. So that's not possible. So you have to go until here. What we'll do, M and C. We are going to compare this. Is current character greater than the next character? Yes. So we'll just start writing the value over here. This is going to be my result. So is the current character that is here is greater? Yes. So I'll start writing 1000. Then my I will move here and my I plus 1 is here. Again, C and M we are comparing. Is C greater than M? Here it will be false because C is 100, M is 1000. Since it is smaller, so we'll do a minus 100. Okay, then I moves again here. So I is here. M and X. Is M greater than X? Yes, it is. So 1000 will get added. Okay, then I is here. 10, X is 10. 10, is it greater than C? No, it is not. So we'll subtract it. The value is 10. Okay, then I again moves here. So I is C and I plus 1 is here. C is 100. So 100 is greater than I. Yes, it is. So we'll add 100 here. Okay. Then again, now I is here. And as we have mentioned, we are going to reach till here. I and I plus 1 is being compared. Is I greater than B? No, it is not. So we are going to do a subtraction of minus 1. So let's try to compute till this much how much it is. 1000 minus 100 is 900. 900 plus 1000 is 1900. 1900 plus 10 is 1910 and then minus 100. So I think this was minus 10. I have mentioned minus 10. This was plus 100 and then minus 1. Okay, so let's try to compute this. 1000 plus 1000, 2000 plus 100 minus 100 is going to be 1900 and then another 100 is going to be 2000. Minus 10 is going to be 1990. 1990 again minus 1 is going to be 1989. So till here we have 1989. Okay, now what do we do about the last character? Every time you are going to only go till the second last character. So here, after we are done with traversal of the for loop, before returning the result, we have to add the last character's value to result and then return result. Okay, so in this case it is still here is 1989, B is 5, 1989 plus 5. Okay, so that gives us 1994. This 1994 is going to be our final output. So I hope the try run is clear to all of you. So let's now start with the code for this. So we'll start with the code. I'm using GFG, the Geeks for Geeks practice platform for doing the code changes. We can alternatively use the lead code also for doing that. Okay, so as we said, we are going to use a hash map. So I'll define a map here. The map is going to contain the character and it is also going to contain its integer value. So we'll have a map of character and this map of new hash map. Hash. Okay, so into this we just have to simply add it, keep on adding the values to this, which is a bit of manual work. It's a character, so I and then 1. So I'll just copy this. This is I, and then we have this V, which is 5, and then X, which is 10, L, that is 50, C, that is 100, D, 500, and M, that is 1000. So we don't delete this extra. So once we have the map of Roman numerals ready, now we have to traverse through the string. So we'll use a for loop, traverse through the string, str.len. Um, okay, I think it should be a map of Romans, not a map. So typo again, starting from here. Okay, I'll also define one result variable to store the value of this. So inside this for loop, what we have to check is if the str.char of I means the character that is being contained, starting from the ith this. If the map contains that character, means we'll say map of Romans dot get. If the map contains what? It contains the character of this. Char of I is the key. If it contains this, I mean not contains, if we are just doing a get on that. If we do a get on this and that value is greater or equals to the same thing, but it will be for I plus 1. If it is greater or equals this value, okay, close it here. If it is, if this is true, then we are going to append that result plus equals the value of this, means map of Romans dot get of this. Yeah. So for example, if we encounter v, that is 5, if v's value, that is, if v is the ith character and we have something that is smaller than v, then we will just do a get of this, we'll get 5 and we'll add 5 to our result. Else, if it is not greater than equal, what else it will be? It will be lesser. So as we know, if it is lesser, we have to simply decrement the value of this. Value of the existing characters equivalent value inside the map. So this is the else part, this is the for loop. Yeah, so we have to keep on doing this. And yeah, one more thing was, it should not be going till the end, it should go till the second last character, because if it goes till the end, I plus 1 will result in an exception. So we have to do this, and then at the end we just have to append the character's value to this result variable, the last character's value, I mean. So we'll do map of Romans dot get str dot char at str dot length minus 1. This might look a bit lengthy, but essentially str.len minus 1 gives us the last characters index. Last characters index will go in for that caret. So caret of last character is going to give us that character itself, and that character we are looking up in the map, and then we are getting the respective value of that. That's it. And once we have this, we'll simply return the result. Yeah, that's it, I think. Let's try running this. Hash map. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's try to submit. So all the test cases have passed. Okay, so yeah, that's it about this problem statement. Thank you so much for watching the video.